Can't believe I'm sharing this with you, but this is exactly how I build systems for 7 to 8 figure contractors. I built hundreds of SOPs, hundreds of systems that are optimized for contractors. I'm tired of seeing contractors struggle with being overwhelmed, overworked, not getting paid enough. So I'm going to be sharing with you exactly step by step the exact process that I use to create SOPs, to create high level systems that can be delegatable and help scale your construction business. So let's jump right in. So before we get started on the technical side of exactly creating the SOP, you need to be thinking about bottlenecks and burdens. So where are we going to start? Which system should we start with? If you start trying to systematize and build out your whole business and get some fancy software, this and that, it's just going to get overwhelming. So bottlenecks are things that are slowing your business down. So where is a pain point or a bottleneck in your business? This could be financially, this could be estimating, could be project management, could be hiring if you don't have enough guys. So where's the bottleneck right now? The biggest bottleneck that if you were able to pass it off to someone or remove the bottleneck, it would help your business just move that much faster, grow that much more, and be that more profitable. And then burden. So, what's a burden to you? What makes you stressed, overwhelmed? What do you hate doing and just had enough of? This could be, again, estimating, maybe it's marketing. So, figure out where's a bottleneck, where's a burden, where do you want to start with the first system in your business. I'm going to be going through an example system, but for you, you need to figure out which one do you want to start with. Get that going. Use the system I'm going to show you, the process I'm going to show you for creating a system. Get it to 70, 80%, delegate it, get it working for you, and then move on to the next thing. And in this way, you will slowly remove the bottlenecks, remove the burdens. Your life will get brighter. You will get more happy as you take care of more of those burdens, and your business will grow, scale, and you'll get more money as you remove those bottlenecks. All right. So now that you've picked whichever, system process that you want to build out in your business, we need to get a rough draft. This is pretty much a brain dump of exactly how you are already doing that system, that process, whatever it may be. It's already happening in your business. You've already got a process. You need to get it on paper. It does not have to be polished. It does not have to sound good, look good, spelling correct, any of that stuff. We just need to get it on paper. So I've just thrown some stuff in here quickly. For you, you're probably going to put in more detail, more steps. For my example, in this video, I'm going to be going through like onboarding a new employee on site. So when they get to the site for the first day, what's the onboarding process that they need to go to? So in this example, they're going to have to do some safety. We've got employee handbook that we'll give them. We'll introduce them to coworkers. Then we'll review their skills, show them the training program and materials of how to improve themselves and what the training looks like over the next 3 months, 1 year, whatever it may be. Review decision making. So we want to make sure that every employee in the company knows which decisions they are responsible for making, what they're accountable for. And then if they can't make a decision or it's something outside of their zone of role, who the right person is to then ask to, about that decision or reach out to for advice. And finally, we give them some swag, right? We give them some shirts, some hoodies, some stuff for the company so they're branded, so they look good, and they're being professional. So that's just a quick process for you. Again, you will have your own process you're probably already doing, and you may want to add stuff in there that you're maybe not doing, but you think you should. So you get that all on paper. And the reason we do this is because later on we're going to utilize this to make our polished final product. And I'm going to be showing you some like really cool, neat stuff how to get infographic workflow in place, how to get a training video in place, how to use ChatGPT to build you your SOP. I'm going to be going through all that stuff like very, very quickly. You can get these systems built out in your business. Rapid Result Creators is what we do. We do this stuff every day, all day. So you're in luck. I'm showing you the exact process. Next, I asked, like, what system and software are you using? So in this example, we're going to be using Google Drive files. We're going to be using a site safety app, but we'll say we've got, an app for reporting safety or what have you. It can be your PM software. And then time tracking. The employee's got to track their time, right? So those are some things we may go over in the onboarding. Which parts of your process could most be easily be automated? So definitely sending out any kind of documents or instructions could be automated. automation doesn't always mean that it's 100% like you don't nobody does anything, right? We're in the land of the AI now, but there's still human involvement and human triggers that need to happen in order for stuff to go out. But you could make it very simple and create automations that still have a human component potentially. And then there's a lot of like back end stuff that's sort of like automatic in the background. Making sense? All right. Number four here is which parts of your process could most easily be delegated. So who's going to actually be doing this process? Hopefully it's not you. Even if it is you at this point, that's the reason we're building this process. So later you can then have something that's like, here, give it to someone and have someone else do it. In this example, we're going to have a project manager. It could be the site foreman as well. So whoever's meeting that new employee on site. Typically, though, if a new employee is starting on site, you're going to want the project manager there to greet them. Potentially, you as the owner, depending on the size of your business or what have you, and whoever it may be, that's who's this is going to be delegated to. So, making sense. This is your rough draft, and we're going to utilize this later. Like I said, with ChatGPT, along with some other stuff that we're going to build right away. So now that we got our rough draft in place, the next step in this process is going to be getting a workflow. So I like to use Lucidchart. There's a free version. It's not bad. The program works well, and it's what I use. There's lots of other flowchart, apps online. So feel free to use what you want. Make this a little bigger here so you can see my beautiful face. All right. So, like I said, new employee onboarding for project management, or this can be handled by a PM. You'd have a new employee onboarding workflow like this for an admin person because there's going to be like after you hire someone, there's like an administration part where they need employee contract. You need to send them the documents. We need to get their info as an employee for tax purposes and payroll and whatever. So this is just the on-site stuff. How the workflow works is you're gonna have a start, you're gonna have an end, surprise, surprise, and then these blue boxes are essentially actions or steps in the process. Decisions, there aren't any decisions in this one, but decisions are typically a diamond shape, something like this. So let's say, I don't know if there was some sort of decision that need to be made for the onboarding, like, is this someone new that's a rookie, or is it someone who has experience? Or, like, is it going to be a manager, or whatever? Then there may be like branches of the workflow. In this example, though, pretty straightforward. This sort of, big, I call it a D, big D, a wait step. So this would be like wait till the second week for this next step. It could be, wait till the next day or whatever you need. But if there's something where there's a process, but there's like a wait, until the rest of the process continues, that's what that looks like. And then these purple kind of wavy boxes here, those are documents, could be software. So this is some other resource or item that are going to be included in here. And the good thing about workflows, the reason you want to have a workflow is first visually for all those people that don't want to read through a block of text or even a training video sometimes, they may have gone through like high level, it's easy to see, it's very clear, straightforward, and we want to make things simple. There's also going to be times where you're not onboarding a new employee every day, right? So after maybe you've gone through this a few times, your project manager has, but you haven't hired anybody for a couple months or half a year or whatever. Now all of a sudden there's a new person. It's like, what's the process again? They don't need to go through the whole SOP because they already know it, but they may not just remember like all the little details. So and go here. It's like, okay, we've got the employee SOP where this process is. There's the handbook. We've got a skills assessment. We've got a trainer. We got a decision-making SOP. Those are the resources that I need to have in order to onboard this client, right? So it's visual glance, very easy, and you go through the steps essentially. So that's the workflow. All right. So making sense? You see how this is making things so simple, and this workflow can go in the SOP document and leads us into our next part of the video, which is creating a video, training video. So the next step in here would be creating training video. You might think like, I don't really want to make a video on the site of me like onboarding a new employee. You actually don't need to do that. Certain situations, you're not going to need to make a video of everything you do on site. But it would still be beneficial in this case to make a video and explain this process, right? So that a project manager, you're training them and you can tell them, like, go check out the new employee onboarding training video. What you're going to do is you're going to get, I like Zoom. It's what I'm using right now. Go get Zoom, do a screen share, show this on your screen and just kind of walk through it that, okay, the new employee is going to be starting on site today. First thing you're going to need to do is go through safety orientation. You can go in your Google Drive or wherever you have it, hold up the document if you really need to, so that they know this is where you go get the safety orientation material. Next is the employee handbook. The admin person will have already sent the handbook to the employee. So you just need to pull it up on your phone or your tablet on site and kind of go through with the employee or print it out if you don't have, digital stuff to work on site with. So in this way, as you can see, you're just talking through the process and kind of showing it visually on your screen. You're going to show in your folders or project management software or whatever, the online digital side of it. And just talk through what you're doing and the workflow. And that's why you get the workflow here in place, because then you've figured out the process and you've got it. You're doing good, making sense. After you've created the video, there's a few things that you can do. And for the video, spend a few $100s. Go get yourself a half decent mic. I use Rode RODE microphone. I think it's the podcaster, something like that. But I think it's 200-300 bucks. Anyways, it does a world of good. You don't even need, I don't know, like $200. You can get a really great microphone, maybe 300 bucks. It's well worth it because when you're explaining stuff, especially for people that may not be native speakers or may like whatever, right? Through digital, you can't always hear people that well. So make sure you get a good microphone and then run it through a program that optimizes the sound if you want to take it to that next level. So there's things like Ophonic, Auphonic, I think, Ophonic. Free program. You can pay a few credits if you don't want the watermark on there or whatever, but it will optimize, it'll take out the background noise and everything from your audio in videos, and it will optimize the sound to be nice and loud at a certain level so that you know that people can hear you properly. So just a little extra. Again, you can have your admin person do this. You can create an SOP for creating SOPs or creating training videos, right? So the sky is the limit. I love systems so much because once you're done with it, it's like you just created more air for yourself to breathe, more free space, less stress, right? So that's one thing. From there, now that so you've got a workflow, you got a training video, you got a rough draft for an SOP. Now we're going to go and put this in ChatGPT for it to build an SOP for us. So one thing that I do with the videos is you can transcribe the video, which is like the text version of all the audio that you're speaking. What I suggest is go and get a YouTube channel if you have not yet, because YouTube will transcribe your videos for you and it does a really good job. And I actually use it because I like it better than most other transcribers online. If you want something more simple, streamlined, you can, just search for transcriber. But if you get a YouTube channel, you can upload your video. They don't have to go out on YouTube. It's a private video, but you can keep your videos there for it's like a backup, as well as if you upload a video, it takes sometimes like anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour possibly. But if you scroll down, you go subtitles, this little button here, download subtitles, which is the text transcription. As you can see, like everything I said in this video, is your business set up to fail, which is this. You can download the subtitles. So there we go. So now that you've walked through that process, you've explained the process, you can then get the transcription. So it's all in text. You can give that to ChatGPT, and now ChatGPT is going to have a much clearer, better output of the steps because it has you specifically talking of exactly where to find things, how to do things, and everything, all the communication that you want to get across. When you're done with this video of how to like create all these awesome systems, go check out this video, the 5 essential systems for a stress-free construction business. And it'll give you like great ideas of what are the 5 big systems that you need to get in place and then how to figure out like the subsystems. Won't get into all that jazz right now. Go check out the other video, but figure I mention it because it's going to be super helpful for you and you're going to want to check it out. So you get the transcriptions there. They will come with timestamps. And this may seem like detailed and getting a little bit in the weeds here and technical. It's really not that difficult. So with the transcription, it's going to have timestamps of like when you said things, when you download it. Just search Google, remove timestamps from YouTube's transcript. I like this one, this Ashley Cameron design, remove timestamps from YouTube's transcript. You paste it into there. and it'll remove the timestamps. The reason you want to do that is because ChatGPT has a limit for the amount of characters that you can put in a prompt. And if it has all the timestamps in there, you'll sometimes go past the limit of how much like text you can paste into ChatGPT. So little insider pro tip there, expert tip. Follow me, still with me, doing good. Right on. So the other thing I was going to mention is when I said upgrade your microphone if you don't have a good one, like don't use your laptop microphone or just some generic one. Same with the video. Like it doesn't have to be anything super amazing, but if you're using the video from like a laptop or something like that, it's probably not that great. I think like 80 bucks or something, Amazon, go get yourself like a proper webcam, 1080p. They're not expensive and it you just need something that's like clear, right? Doesn't have to be, hundreds, thousands of dollars, crazy stuff. So figure I mentioned that. All right. So now the fun stuff. We are going over to ChatGPT, which if you're not familiar with, you should get familiar with because it's coming and it's changing everything. I've created a custom GPT, which I've uploaded like our templates for SOPs and a bunch of information so that my output is more consistent. You don't need to do that, but it'll help. So if you don't know about how setting up custom GPTs, again, I have other videos on this channel. Go check them out on AI, on ChatGPT, how to set up custom ChatGPTs and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do here, though, is pretty much you'll type in here. I'm not even going to type in here because it's already a custom GPT, so it knows I want to create an SOP anyways. Should it? We'll see what the output is. But what I'm going to do is I've exported this workflow. So I'm going to go to ChatGPT. We're going to upload this diagram. It says blank diagram, but it's the one that I just had there. And I don't have any like timestamp because I didn't create a training video for this because this is just an example. But what I can do is I can take this. I could download this document and upload it, but I've got other stuff in the document. So I'm just going to do this. Going to put that in there. And I think that's about it. You would put your transcription of your video in here as well. So it'd be more detailed and more specific than what I'm going to get here. But we'll throw that in here. We'll see what comes up. Give it a minute here. Mine's also usually gonna ask for the names and stuff like that. And another thing with ChatGPT is you always wanna make sure when you throw something in there, like I'm just doing this quick, but kinda give it a little explanation of what you want it to do, specific details, and always ask it to ask you, please, before you proceed with your task, ask me any questions you have, clarifications, or additional information that you need. That way, it won't just run with anything you give it, but it'll actually like say like, For the output to be better, I need to know this or this information would be helpful." So this one, it gives me title suggestions, key questions before drafting, who will be performing the onboarding, what qualifications or experience. So I'm going to put on-site onboarding, SOP. I'm going to say project. So again, I'm just throwing this in there really quick, but ChatGPT AIs are really good at figuring stuff out. Don't expect miracles. It is getting better every day, so it is pretty amazing, but it'll give you some output. It may not be perfect, and it may not be exactly what you want. Feel free to maybe tell it like, "Hey, you know what? That's not really what I want. Can you please condense this or expand it? Or can you keep it more close to the workflow? Can you incorporate the workflow? Can you make this into a PDF document? So there into a docx document for Word doc, like play around with it, figure it out. The more you use it, the better you'll get. It gave me a lot of stuff here as far as steps and things like that. And it's keeping it very consistent with my workflow. I find ChatGPT as well. It tries to like summarize and keep it very streamlined. I might want more of an explanations on this, but anyways, you keep going through it with iterations. If you've gotten like output that's just way off base, start over again. Maybe I wouldn't include the workflow. Maybe I want it to be closer to this. And with your video transcription, you can maybe just use a video transcription and see what it comes out with. But anyways, it's a quick way to build SOPs. Of course, if you wanna just, like, have someone do all this for you, contact us. This is what we do every day for our clients. We build them systems, we help them implement them, we get this all done for you, and we specifically tailor it to your construction business. And I'm gonna go off on a few more things here because you've got all the kind of the bases covered now. What I would suggest is having some sort of template. So this is one of our SOP templates, and the way that we like to structure it, you've got a description of the document, required resources, and then you're gonna have, like, your top line skills, your kind of different skills within that subcategory, and then the specific steps that go along with that. So this is a quick way to go from A to Z, get your systems in place, get your construction business systematized. It works really quick. Anything is better than nothing. Sometimes you just need to get something in place and realize, like, that you need to upgrade this. So you're not done yet with this whole system process. Like, there's obviously the implementation, but with any even after the implementation, how often do you need to update this, right? Because as you know, things are always changing. The way that I do it is every time you have a new employee, you would update the SOP. So let's say you have a new project manager who's going to be doing this for the first time. That is the perfect time to go through the SOP because maybe this hasn't been updated in a year or 2 years or whatever since the last project manager came in and started utilizing this. So with any new person, that's when you wanna update the SOP because they are new, they're bringing in different experience, they don't know your systems, they don't know your processes, they're learning this for the first time, and they're gonna find holes and gaps, and you're gonna have they're not gonna know what some of the stuff is, and every time you have someone start, a new person that's gonna go through this, it'll get better and better because they're gonna have their input. The reason you wanna do this is obviously to upgrade the SOP, but it also gets buy-in right away from your employees because this new employee starting on site, it's like, "Oh, I've gotta learn this process," and then you're gonna ask them feedback and update it, and they get buy-in because it's like, "Oh, I'm actually helping the company," like, they actually care about what I'm doing, and it's not just like, "You're an idiot. You don't know how to follow an SOP." It's like, "We understand that you don't understand all this. How can we make the SOP better so it's better descriptive or you can find things easier, or we can make it foolproof," which we're doing right now, making foolproof systems. Go check out this other video. I'll see you there.